So I'm Vicky Featherstone and I'm the Artistic Director of the National Theatre of Scotland. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Jenna and I am Assistant Director with Vicky on 27.
And 27 is a play by Abi Morgan and we're in the last week of rehearsals. So Jenna and I are going to talk a little bit about how that's going and how it is working with Jenna. So Jenna, first of all, maybe if you could tell me what it means to you doing this programme.
Well, it's been a massive opportunity, and it's been really great to be able to work with the National Theatre to see what their processes are. And I think what's been especially lovely is to work on a piece like 27, which is a piece of new writing, which is something that I'm very interested in my own directing practice as well.
And have you ever had the experience of working with a play like this before?
No, nothing so complex and of this scale.
Me too.
Yeah, like even just having 8 characters is more than I've worked with before, and to kind of be in, to know that the play is going to be in a place like the Lyceum as well, and that kind of audience. That's nothing. I've never worked on that scale, so it's been really interesting to see that side of the process as well.
And if you think about kind of what you felt the day before we started rehearsals and what you feel now, what would you say is the difference?
I think, well, the day before I was really kind of nervous, but really keen not to set kind of expectations of what was going to happen. I just wanted to let whatever happen. But now I think I kind of feel quite confident and really settled and happy with the play and how it's going and the dynamics that are happening. And, yeah.
I mean, I think, you know, I'd just like to say that it's been a real honour being able to work with you. For me, this is it's a very important play, and well, as you know, because you've done so much research for us, you know, it's a very important issue.
Yeah.
And I think you've contributed so much to this rehearsal process in terms of opening up the importance of the issue and all of the different research and everything. One of the things that happens often in rehearsals is that you just get locked in to the work with the actors, and it's so vital to have somebody, and Jenna's been amazing at this, about bringing in the outside world as much as possible. So one of the most incredible things that you've done is introduce us to an amazing group of people. Maybe just talk a little bit about that, because it's incredible.
Yes, we managed to get in touch with a convent in Dumbarton, and we've been to see a closed order of nuns, which was very, very exciting. And I think it was really useful for the actors that are playing nuns and also the scientists in this play, just to get a real sense of the convent and that world that often the public don't ever see, where they have quite a stereotypical view of what that is, and we were able to actually see what it is for real, and that was very, very exciting.
And I would say that that's one of Jenna's skills that she's brought to the rehearsal room, is that she's incredibly focused and very kind of strong-willed in terms of getting something, but is very subtle in the way that she does it. But I think that's a real skill, you know, to have, and it was wonderful that you were able to kind of open that up. Are there things that you think you've learnt that you're going to kind of take forward, and maybe things that you've learnt that you don't want to take forward as well?
I think the biggest thing is just this kind of increased confidence, and just being able to talk to people and make things happen as a creative. I find it very easy to do those things when you're an administrator, or you know, you're in that kind of role, but to actually do it as a creative is a slightly different thing. There's maybe something more personal about it. So I've kind of taken that away, and I think I've been really reassured by the processes that I've seen you go through when you're working with a writer or a large cast or a piece of new writing, and there's things that I would do that I've seen you doing as well. So that's been really, really reassuring. And there's also, I think I've learned a lot about discipline. I've said this to you before, discipline, and kind of learning to shut up and let people make discoveries for themselves, rather than me stepping in and talking about it all the time.
We like talking about it though, don't we? But yes, I know what you mean.
Yes, I think it's more important for other people to make those discoveries than like me.
Well, but I think, I mean, it's something, you know, I was lucky enough. How old are you?
27.
Yeah, I was lucky enough, about 26, to go on a similar scheme to this, which was called then the Regional Theatre Young Director Scheme. It's now funded by, it was funded then by ITV, it's now funded by Channel 4. And it placed somebody for a year in a theatre as an assistant director, and I went to the West Yorkshire Playhouse, and I assisted Jude Kelly for a year, and it was really, I mean, I learned a lot. I'm sure you're too polite to say, but I learned a lot of things that I knew I wouldn't take forward as well. So it's as much about you learn how you're not going to do things as how you are going to do things. But yes, the big thing for me was being able to kind of take the temperature, if you like, of a process and being able to observe that and take that forward. But yeah, I mean, if I hadn't had that opportunity, I definitely wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now. Because it gave me the opportunity of seeing, you know, a sort of artistic director running an organisation as well as being in rehearsals. Yeah. So all of those things I think are quite interesting.
And what advice would you give to young director Vicky?
That is like the hardest question ever, because it's, I don't know that I could give real advice to you, because I think you're a brilliant person and you really understand theatre, and you know, confidence, which you've already talked about, be confident in your opinion and trust your instinct, and don't let people batter your instinct out of you, because that's the most important thing that you've got. And I think it's really important to nurture that instinct, and also, which I think you do naturally anyway, but it's to keep keep all avenues open, all of those opportunities open, and not go, that's not the kind of work that I'm interested in. It doesn't mean that you're going to have to do it forever, but I think you often can learn from things that might not necessarily seem like your first choice. So, you know, I've definitely done some things which now I think, why did I do that? But I really learned from them. And I also think it's really important to take the risk to put stuff on yourself, and not within the kind of structures that exist to expect that people are going to give you those opportunities. You know, some of the biggest learning things for me were things like selling my granny's piano and taking the risk and taking a show to the Edinburgh Festival. You know, it's those sort of things where you've got nobody breathing down your neck and you can just follow your instinct completely. Be fearless and just go for it. That's the advice.
Oh no. That's good. Excellent. And Vicky, who are your mentors or influences?
Well, I would say that Jude Kelly was a great influence on me, in terms of, you know, her role as running an organisation and really caring about the context that theatre is made in, and the kind of responsibility that theatre has in it for its audience. I mean, in terms of creatively, I think, you know, it's everything from kind of films, music. There are lots of different people. But also I think what's important is that you, maybe not mentors, but that you have peers who question you, who you really trust. So for me, John Tiffany's always been, you know, ever since I kind of started directing professionally when I was 26, he's always been somebody who's sort of been on my shoulder asking questions, as I have with him. And I think sometimes directing can be quite a lonely job, and actually to find somebody that you really trust, who is your peer, within that, I think is really invaluable. I know that a lot of directors wish that they had that relationship, so I think that's really healthy. And the other thing, because I've been very lucky, is, I know you're interested in this as well, but working with writers, so the writers have taught me so much as well.
I have to say that's what's been really lovely about this process, and in particular with 27, that I didn't expect, was to actually kind of fall in love with the play. And I feel in quite a privileged position, because I'm not the lead, well, I would say lead artist, but director.
No, it's right,
You know, I'm in a position where I can do that. I can just let myself do that and just kind of revel in it and really enjoy it, you know, and that's I think what I've really enjoyed about this.
Do you know what, Jenna? That's given me goosebumps. That's the most exciting thing ever, that you fall in love with the play, honestly.
You don't kind of expect to do that, or you're kind of afraid to expect that, because what if you don't?
I understand.
It's been really lovely.
It's amazing, isn't it, though? I feel we've all been very lucky with this, working with a piece of writing that is kind of bigger than all of us. And we all seem, I love that process, that we all seem we're really striving to understand. I don't think we ever really will, you know, but I think the way that everybody's worked together and asking all the questions of it continuously means that hopefully we'll get closer to it, but who knows?
But there's so many kind of nuances in the writing, and it's, I kind of feel like this is a really particular experience because of that. So I don't think... I kind of feel like that's quite a rare thing, and especially with your relationship with Abi as well, because you've worked together before. That seems like quite rare, that you two have this kind of excellent relationship and trust each other implicitly with what you're doing. So that's been really exciting to watch, and kind of quite envious of that, I think. You know, and you kind of think, well, I want to put myself in that position and know that I can have those relationships with other creatives as well.
You will do. You've got the right instinct for it. You totally will. Brilliant. really emotional.